On this episode of the Radio Shop, we're going to be looking at this RCA Victor RGA12Y radio, which happens to be new in box. Sold by the Southern Radio Corporation out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Apparently they were an RCA dealer. This is pretty cool. Owner says they did take it out, they did try to power it up, and it has no noise. So we're going to be taking a look at this. New in box. RCA radio. Still has the pamphlets and everything. They did take it out and try it and plug it in, and it made no noise, and they want to get it working. So we're going to do this. Nice NOS, new in box, AM radio. So we're going to take a look at it. Kind of cool. He wants it to work, so we're going to work on it. Comes complete. With the paperwork. RCA Indianapolis, Indiana, because it was the home instruments division. Pretty cool. Features easy tuning of standard broadcast, 540 to 1600 kilocycles. Built-in loop antenna, and it has that golden throat tone system for more enjoyable listening. Packed all nice and neat in here. Like I said, he has had it out before, so it's not like I'm just now unboxing it new, but boy, isn't that pretty. That is a pretty set. There's kind of, if you see a weird yellow hue on here, it's from my LED lights above the workbench, but boy, isn't that pretty. It's an RCA RGA12Y. That's the white version of this. The 12A is blue and the 12G is green. I would have liked to seen one of these in blue and or green. Looks like it has a dead man's cord. Push down on the bottom back edge of the cabinet and pull out the lower edge of the back cover to avoid strain on the antenna connection. We're going to open it up and see, because it does have an interlock, which has the dead man cord. And always remove the cover completely before servicing. That's so you can kill the power to it. Alright, we're going to get started here. An RCA RGA12Y. New in box. We're going to take a look at the inside. Interesting. It's at an angle. It's at an angle so they could have the volume switch at the bottom of the cabinet and the tuner up here without too much issue. So they just set it in there at an angle. Interesting that that's what they came up with. So this RCA plastic radio had captive knobs, so you can't pull the knobs off the front and then pull the chassis out. You have to pull the chassis out from the knobs and leave the knobs. And you have to do it very carefully to keep from breaking the knob plastic. But we got it out, and we're going to proceed with replacing this electrolytic capacitor here, this twin capacitor, and this paper capacitor here, and this paper capacitor over here. The rest, this capacitor, I'm going to leave alone, especially since this has not been used. It has been powered up but didn't work. Hopefully all the tubes are still good, that it didn't burn anything out when they powered it up. We're going to go through that and get some stuff working. This has a 30 and a 50, and we're probably going to have to replace it with a 47 and a 33 because those are the common values now of electrolytics. Alright, we're going to get going. Here we go. Okay, so I got my electrolytics, my new twin electrolytics soldered in here, where they go. And then I put in a new, replace the paper cap here and replace the other paper cap back there. I'm going to place this board back in, and we're going to bring it up slowly and see what we get. Actually, I'm not going to put it in first. I'm going to leave it out, bring it back up slowly with some dummy knobs so that I don't shock myself on this thing, and I'm going to bring it up with the Variac just to be on the safe side and test this radio out. I'll hook the loop back up and we will go and test this and do some radioing. Alright, be back in just a few. So I have here my own cheater cord, which goes back to my Variac. I'm going to bring it up slowly. I'm going to put me a couple of knobs on here so I'm not touching the hot chassis, which is the reason why these had captive knobs on them anyway, to meet UL specifications, so that you wouldn't shock the crap out of yourself if you had it plugged in wrong, which is why they had the cord, the interlock cord there. Do not defeat, which I defeated it because I need to test the radio. So here we go. Got no power, and I don't know if it's my cheater cord or I have a tube out. So let's shut her down and do a little diagnosticing. I'll shut my Variac down too. It could be that my cheater cord just doesn't quite make contact as well as the cord that came on the original.
Story day, thanks to a federal judge. Now, the hypochondriacs will stick out, not me. The question will not be, why aren't you wearing a mask? The question will be, why are you? So all of in the order, right? So Nine to 10.
All right.
Only on Super Talk. WKYX has grown into the Super Talk network, with news and talk in Paducah at 102.5 and in Mayfield at 100.5.
Okay, well, I got it going. It was my cheater cord not making good contact. I do see a problem that I created on the board, where I stuck one of my capacitors for the replacement electrolytic. It does not allow the tuning capacitor to open fully. So we have an issue there. So I'm going to have to repair that issue there. So we're going to work on that, get that moved out of the way, and continue on, because I think we're about ready to pop this puppy back in the case once I get that issue solved. Be back in a few. So on this radio I had the two electrolytic capacitors. This one was standing up, and it would bump into the tuning capacitor, so you couldn't tune all the way to the top of the dial. So I have fixed that by just bending that one over, on laying it down on the board. The other one still stands up, and it will fit in there because we have so much room in this cabinet. All right, we're going to put this case back together and try it once again with it in the case. We'll shoot some more of that. But the radio does sound good, and it is a neat little radio. I kind of wish I had one in blue or green, but the owner has a white one that was in the box. It had never been used. We replaced the two electrolytics and the two paper foil caps in it. Left the ceramic caps alone, left the resistors alone, and it's going to be a pretty good performing little radio. So we've got this unique chassis back in. Turn on a little light here so you can see it a little better. It's just kind of a unique design that they took, a flat chassis and made it to where it would line up with a knob over here and a knob up here, instead of having to put both knobs in the same row, or the knob way down, this knob way down here. They ingeniously did a diagonal Batman, as we would call it, a Batman. Put the circuit board in that way, at the Batman angle, as I was trying to think of. It's the Batman angle chassis. So I'm going to solder the connections back onto the antenna loop, and then we're going to fit the back on and fire it up one more time.
I would have taken a call like that on a post-game show.
And the first call that popped up was the Blessed Mother Mary on call number.
Hey. Just outrageous. Anyway, Justin, thanks for the heads up on this, and thanks for coming out. Go put on some pants. Thanks, guys. See you later. Axios. Subscribe. Justin Coffin.
It's the best of the Steve Cochran Show on the Big 89 WLS.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose?
That's pretty good, picking up Chicago in the daytime here, where we're at. But this is the little RCA that came in the box. Never been used. Replaced some components on it, and we've got it going. Sounds pretty good. We're going to put it back in the box and get it back to the owner. We'll see you next time here on the Old Radio Shop. Battery died.